So guys, we're back again straight away. I think that last game was um, pretty short, so we're going to do a rematch in which I hopefully last longer than 5 minutes. So yeah, we'll do the same thing again, placing one into SSR. We'll see if he does any differently. No, same again. So yeah, so straight away, I much prefer this hand. Yeah, I don't know if you've watched the last game that Chase and I just had, but you know the first two turns were pretty tough for us. We were at a slight ops disadvantage. I'd also like to mention that Chase is also recording this game, so just like last time, you'll be able to watch the game from his perspective as well as mine. You know that's a what you call it? That's a theme that people have been enjoying. And I quite like doing it myself too. So again, we haven't seen socialist government, so I like overprotecting Italy and throwing one into Iran. Can't type today. So yeah, I think Red Scare is the pretty obvious headline here. You know, I mean, we've got a lot of ops, and I think in the early war it's very important as the Americans to try and halt that Soviet advance. So what does he? Okay, so he goes for Olympic Games. So he's trying to get some early victory points there, and we've got to participate, and he wins, only just. So he kicks us out of Iran. So you know that's slightly concerning for us. So we now need to move out in the Middle East. You know, I think taking Lebanon is pretty crucial. We can also move into Jordan to sort of threaten Iraq. Maybe try and get back into Iran. And I think we'll go ahead and throw one into France. You know, try to score it quickly. We're going to be using Suez Crisis with blockade, so we don't have to worry about losing influence there. You know, and if he does have Europe scoring, then it'll force him to play that quickly. So there's the goal. So we can now take France sort of relatively worry-free. So taking Afghanistan gives him Asian domination. So if we grab Philippines, you know, we can't coup that very easily. And that takes that away from him, so we now have to take another country. I like throwing one into South Korea here, because, you know, because he's under Red Scare, he can't then take it back with the China card. He'd have to rely on the war card. And then I guess I can go ahead, throw one into Egypt as well to sort of threaten Libya. So if he has Nasser, that sort of forces him to play that. If he wants to coup it, he can do, and then that'll lower the DEFCON that we can then move into Malaysia, relatively worry-free. So yeah, a couple of things for him to think about there. Okay, so there's Asia, so we can forget about that for the time being. He wisely plays it while he still has a point advantage. Excuse me one moment. So yeah, I think we'll go on the offensive in the Middle East, you know, threaten Iran, move into Libya. So we've now given ourselves Middle Eastern domination with no presence from him. So we recorded last game too. I'm just wondering if he wants to record the first one because it was quite short. So what's he going to use UN with? Containment, okay. Right, so his thought process there is, you know, if I decide to coup that, then he's going to get the counter coup, because obviously the DEFCON will still be able to drop again. But given that he's at an op disadvantage and that we need military ops, I'm going to hope for a big roll here and, you know, hope that he won't be able to knock us out. We roll 2. So forget that. I suppose with that, the good news as well is that he now probably won't want to walk back in because he'll then be worried that we'll coup him out. Yeah, most likely. Okay, yeah, so we will upload both. I'm just making sure. I think with the one from blockade, we'll move into Malaysia. But you know, the good news here is the 2 remaining regions that are yet to be scored are sort of in our favour at the moment. Okay. So I suppose, in fact, if we put the one from blockade into Egypt, then we still maintain Middle East domination. Then, as a last play, if he doesn't coup, we could coup Iran. And if we're successful, then we might cause some issues for him. So we'll see what he does there. And there's Middle East. Nice, so we get some points. I still quite like that play. We'll hopefully get an anchor in there, so you know he's sort of forced to coup Iran as his next turn. And we roll a 1, of course. So never mind. So it's all even going into turn 2.
They spread and grow in the evil soil of poverty and strife. They reach their full growth when the hope of a people for a better life has died.
So not a bad hand, ops-wise and event-wise as well. You know, we've got Truman, so if anything crazy happens in Europe, we can address that. We've got captured Nazi, so we can hopefully score those quick, you know, 2 victory points from the Earth satellite. We've got Indo-Pakistani war, so if he decides to go into Pakistan, we could maybe counter that if we get a big roll. And we do have D-Star as well, which we can keep. So the good news is that he won't be getting that next term. So I quite like duck and cover here because it gives us 3 points and it denies him the coup. And there's Europe. Okay. So we would have got 5 from that. We get 3 from duck and cover, so not a huge loss. We do need to take France at some stage though. We will also play Fidel because if he has CIA, then that'll create some problems for him, you know, because we haven't seen CIA yet. No, we haven't. So, crap. So, I mean, if he goes, obviously he's already gone into Africa, so a little bit surprised there that he didn't put one into Algeria to threaten France, but now we're in a bit of trouble in Asia. I'm gonna go ahead and grab South Korea here because I mean, you know, if he has to play the war card and he plays it, then he's successful. But again, you know, there's always that argument: if you leave it open, then they're probably going to take it anyway. So you might as well threaten him. And obviously, because we've gone into Malaysia, he'll now be more concerned with taking Thailand back. We've also not seen Japan, I don't think, so that could help us to reduce the chances ever so slightly. So yeah, I'm going to try and get ahead on the space race track. We'll play Captured Nazi, get the 2 points, and then we can maybe space Vietnam as well. You know, then we'll get 2 animal in space. We're not going to space D-Star though, because obviously we want to keep that. Okay, so here comes Korea. He fails, nice. Yeah, so I suppose, you know, normally we'd be a little bit worried that he got some military ops, but the good news is we have Indo-Pakistani war, so even if he doesn't go into Pakistan or India, we'll still probably use it for a war in India in the hope that we get 2 points, but more importantly that we deny him 2 points from the military ops that we'll get. So yeah, we'll try and get ahead. And we roll a 6. That's where the 6s are when you need them. Yeah, but at least we took the 2 points off him before he could get them. We were very fortunate that the Korean War card failed as well. There's Romania. So he moves into Burma. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take France now. Or actually, if we wait a minute, I suppose if we break Iran, then that sort of forces him to play into Pakistan. Then we'll put the extra one into France, and then we can take France with Truman. And then as a last move, we can play in the Pakistani war. So there's special. Oh, so we can take France anyway now, which is good. Nice. So that's sort of done our job for us there. I suppose with that, given that he didn't take Iran back, I'm going to play this now with like a 33% chance and hopefully flip it. Ah, another one. But at least we get military ops, that's the main thing. And we do keep D-Star, which I think is the best news from today. And there's NASA, so we'll probably take Iran back. I know it protects Pakistan. So with Truman, I'm slightly concerned that de Gaulle will come back, so I think a wise play here is to overprotect France.
So my country's purpose is to help us move out of the dark chamber of horrors into the light, to find a way by which the minds of men, the hopes of men, the souls of men everywhere can move forward toward peace and happiness and well-being.
Now I want to play Middle East here because even if he plays Nasser, we'll still have Middle Eastern domination, because we'll still have a battleground and a non-battleground, whereas he'll only have Syria because he won't actually take control of Egypt. So at the very least here, we'll be getting 3 points. So I quite like that play, and I prefer it over Europe as well because like I said, de Gaulle could cause some problems in France. There's also socialist governments. And it's there, so he could have taken that away from us quickly. Whereas like I say, if he had played Nasser, still would have been a little bit annoying because we would have lost a point. But at the same time, we still get domination, so that's good. He might make a play for West Germany here, in which case I think we'll coup Angola. It takes out the UK. Interesting. I wonder why, because we have a special relationship. So he gets CIA out of the deck, which is pretty wise, and he's got a pretty American hand there. 5-year plan, duck and cover, containment. In fact, they're all American events, so he might find it quite difficult to manage that hand. I'm going to go ahead and coup Angola here. Nice. So we take away that foothold that he had in Africa from de Gaulle. So I think the really nice thing about that is that now it means that both de Gaulle and D-Star won't have had any impact in the early war, apart from taking Thailand, which I think is a pretty small price to pay. So we do have Europe scoring, so we need to address that. We need to repair West Germany. We can't let him advance in there anymore. If he gives us Japan, then he'll still dominate, I think. Yeah, but it might be worth trying to flip the country count somehow. I don't know how, but compared to the last game, as the US, we're ahead in 2 of 3 early war regions, which I think is good. So I think he's concerned there that we might have Indo-Pakistani war card. That's why he's sort of gone ahead and placed one into Burma before moving into India. So yeah, we'll go ahead and score Europe. So we're now 15 points ahead as the US in the early war, which is pretty huge. And we're also probably going to get 1 for military ops. So. And he fails that, which is good. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and move out in Africa, take Panama, Zaire, overprotect Angola, move into Algeria, you know, try and get like a steady foothold in the Midwater to sort of counter his Asian domination that he has. The Eastern European battlegrounds are massively overprotected, which means that, you know, Pope John Paul will be slightly more manageable when he comes around. So I'm feeling a lot more confident about this game. I hope you're enjoying these perspective videos. I think they're really interesting. I think it's really fascinating to see how, you know, two different players respond to the same circumstances on the game, and also what they think of each other's play. But I really enjoy it. So he's going ahead. You know, he's trying to lock down Asia, try and, you know, get as many points in Asia as he can, because he's sort of realizing that, you know, the Americans are pretty far ahead in points. I guess we could save NATO and then try to, you know, break Thailand or North Korea at the end to try and counter that ever so slightly. But I'm feeling good about this game. I don't want to say that too soon to jinx things, but I'm feeling good. You know, he's probably going to keep 5-year plan, I'd assume. Okay, so he goes. Yeah, so he's locking up those Southeast Asian points. So the good news now is if we can, you know, break control of one of the Asian countries and flip it, then we'll have 3 to his 3, which is definitely what I'm going to do on the last round if he doesn't overprotect North Korea or even Thailand. You know, placing 3 into Thailand when you've got the China card is a very strong play, because, you know, unless he overprotects it on the next turn, you can still take it. But I think these two games have just gone and shown how game-changing D-style can be. Yeah, so he wisely overprotects North Korea. He must be a fan of my videos. So yeah, I think with that we'll go ahead and break Thailand. So we're now threatening his Asian domination as well.
Приветствовать недавно принятые в члены Организации Объединенных Наций государства и передать им пожелания благополучия и процветания.
Wow, okay, so we do have colonial rearguards, so we can sort of further push Thailand, as well as maybe upsetting things in Southeast Asia, because he is a few points ahead there at the moment, and we do have Asia, so we need to be aware of that. Looking at the other events, you know, apart from Vietnam, they're all useful events to us. You know, OAS is brilliant. It can give us South American control quite easily. We could even play shuttle diplomacy if we don't manage to flip Thailand. You know, Junta gives us access to South America. We could potentially realign Cuba with that. You know, lots of options here. But I like colonial rearguards and ECOS. He's basically gonna, you know, reverse everything that we do here, or, you know. I guess the last one, I guess we should put into Algeria, so we can't break control of it. He might decide to do something else. He might throw one into South Africa to try and get control. But I think his main concern here should be Thailand. At which point, if we play shuttle diplomacy, then he'll still have domination. So we're just going to have to try and maximise, you know, on the Americas, and hope that he has those scoring cards. There's also events that could help him out there. You know, there's Liberation Theology, there's Allende, which I keep hoping I'm pronouncing correctly. So, yeah, so he does throw one into South Africa, like I said. Yeah, so he overprotects Thailand. So I quite like cooing Nigeria here. Nice. Yeah, so anything apart from a 1 there was good enough for me. Yeah, but Africa scoring is going to win us the game here, so I think Asia will give him a little bit of respite though. And the good thing about that is we do get our military ops as well. So I suppose, you know, Space Vietnam, that'll give me another 2 ops, another 2 points, sorry. So yeah. Should probably also consider coupping Cameroon at some point to get African domination. But I think, you know, if we use Junta and OAS to sort of move out, then he's going to be in, you know, he's going to be in big trouble in general. So what's he playing UN with? NORAD. Okay, let's probably take South Africa, I'd have thought. Yeah. So he goes and takes Saudi Arabia, even though Middle East has been scored, which makes me think that he's playing for, you know, OPEC. I think here I quite like going into Botswana to sort of threaten South American realignments, and then I suppose in case he coups that to keep domination, we'll place 1 into Sudan as well. So unless he has Shea, he can't just take away our domination straight away. So he's going to go for Botswana. Yeah. Okay, in that case, I think it's now probably the best time to start moving out. So with Junta, we'll go into Chile, a country that the Americans usually struggle to get, and then we'll hopefully realign him out of Cuba. Oh yeah, come on. Once more. Oh, you beauty. So yeah, so Fidel has had a pretty short-lived career in Cuban politics. I suppose now, if he does have liberation theology, then he could wipe that smoke look off my face. Yeah, so he takes Botswana to protect South Africa, but I'm not too concerned about that because, you know, that's still a winning score. I like sort of moving out in the Americas here. So he fails that roll too. I'm trying to sort of delay Asia scoring for as long as I can in the hope that he does have Africa. Nice, and we succeed with Vietnam on the space as well. So, you know, we're getting closer and closer. It's just we are going to have to play Asia soon, and I don't want to play OAS. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so we've got Asnot. And I definitely think he's got OPEC. I think he's really gonna kick himself when he sees Asia go. But you know, that's the sort of beauty of JFK. Well, beauty or burden, depending on whose side you're on. But you know, because Asia was his saving grace here. You know, that could have you know, given him 6 points, you know, given him a bit of, you know, well-needed respite, but now it's gone, unfortunately. And we've got Shea. So I suppose that's why it was good that we kept that we kept hold of Asia scoring. Yeah, he's not going to be happy about that. I suppose one good thing about it is, though, you know, it does get rid of JFK, which is good news for him, because especially later on when you've got a handful of bad Soviet events, you know, seeing JFK there can really help you out. So the fact that we only got rid of 1 card is, I suppose, slight good news. But I think he's going to struggle to bring this back, in all honesty, unless he has OPEC.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
You know, it's not over for him by any means. I mean, Southeast Asia's there, you know. OPEC's still out there. There are lots of cards in the mid-war that give the USSR some victory points, you know, like Willy Brandt's U2 incident, we will bury you. So it's not over by any means. It's just, I know how frightening it can seem sometimes when you're looking at a big, you know, 18 or 19 in the opponent's favour. When that's looking you in the face, it can be quite daunting. I suppose good play on his part as well is the fact that, you know, the fact he's going on this OPEC spree is, or what I'm assuming is an OPEC spree, basically means that he's now got Middle Eastern domination. So we're going to have to put 3 ops into Israel to counter that. And that was in our favour earlier, so he's done a good job at flipping that. So that's good on his part. I'm guessing he has some... Oh no, what am I doing? It's my turn, isn't it? I'm an idiot. Right, so we'll play this for the event. Oh, I'm so silly. I was thinking it was his go. I suppose because I played JFK, I thought that would be my go in my head, but never mind. Okay, so we'll get rid of We'll Bury You, because that gives him points. We'll get rid of Herr Brandt, and I think we'll get rid of Brush War in case he pulls it. You know, I'd rather not take the risk. Yeah, it's a card I've started using more and more, our man in Tehran. I think it's underrated as a card. So we might have Africa here. Oh. Keep failing. No. Oof, thank God. Has he got Africa? Oh no, he's got nothing. Okay, ignore me. That's the question here, is what to play. I guess with Shea, you can only coup Sudan, at which point we could either coup him back or just take another country. Or just coup Cameroon. So we take Sudan. Yeah, sorry about that wait, my head was somewhere else. You can't coup anywhere else, I don't think. No. So yeah, we'll coup Cameroon to give ourselves Africa domination back. And we roll a 6.
We dare not tempt them with weakness, for only when our arms
And there's Africa.
are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed.
So, you know, I like playing Alliance here because, you know, we have Mexico and Panama, and that'll give us the 2 points that we desperately need. Ooh. OPEC just came in a little bit too late, but yeah, so that was basically the last game, but flips on its side. You know, I think the crucial thing about that game was that, you know, Chase wasn't able to get D-stall. I'm a firm believer in the idea that the game is often decided on whether or not the USSR gets D-stall in most cases, because it can provide a huge advantage at the early stage. Yeah, very well played to Chase. It's always great playing against him, and like I say, he has also recorded these 2 games. You know, we were originally planning on just doing 1, but because the first one was so short, we thought we'd bring you 2. But you know, we both won and lost 1, so I think our even score continues. Yeah, so we'll have to have another one soon to decide the true champion. But yeah, go and check out his channel. He's got lots of great videos on there. I've learnt a lot from him through watching him as I was getting into this game. But yeah, that was it. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a real pleasure playing against Chase. Thank you for his time. Go and check out his perspective. Go and see what he thinks of the events that happened in both games. And yeah, we will both see you next time. So, like I say, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, like and subscribe. There'll be more of it coming soon. And take care. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.